first, I mean, thank you so much. You've been really patient. We were supposed to do this first 2 weeks ago, and then,
Yeah.
I kind of had to pull the rug, minute of. Speaking of rug, the one that you have in your kitchen, I think I had in my room here, like, until a day ago. um,
Okay.
yeah, but, Zuri, we probably worked together about a year. Do you remember when you got involved with Quibble?
I remember it was still cold outside. I think maybe March,
Okay.
March of last year.
Okay.
Yeah.
Um, and I remember being immediately impressed with your interest in being involved because it seemed like you had already gotten a lot going for yourself with Juste Milieu, as well as you'd read for a couple of other organizations. Um, how long do you, well, kind of very broad, but when would you say writing started for you at all? Like, when did you,
Yeah. When did I like write my first piece and realize it was a piece of writing and not just some scribbles? I'd say I was probably like 3 or 4 years old.
okay.
I I was writing little poems. I was writing, it was reminiscent of Dr. Seuss and Shel Silverstein. And when you're that small, you don't know much, so you write about your mom or your dad or something. So I wrote a poem about my mom, and I say I start, and then let's fast forward to probably high school is when I really realized that I'm artistic in a way that is more fun to me on paper because I was playing in an orchestra and I was running track and I was in a film club and I was doing all this stuff, but writing, creative writing, really solidified itself for me around 11th grade. And that's when I like taught myself how to write a play and screenplays. And then I went to writing camp.
Oh,
I
nice.
came back. Yeah, I went up to
So
Interlochen
lifelong,
and
though.
Stillwater. Yeah.
That's because I could
So,
relate about 11th grade is kind of right around when I, like, I don't know, started trying or paying attention in a way, but did not have that,
right.
like,
Yeah, I think they do that on purpose. Like they build the curriculum so that they'll put some really good stuff in around your junior and senior year so that you could go into college with a little more sense.
yeah, yeah, that's fair enough. It would probably be good to do earlier, too, but I don't know.
Yeah, totally.
Well, what about Juice Malou started in 2017?
Hmm.
How did that come about?
So yeah, it was a venture that came about me getting a lot of rejection notices for my writing, and I was just sort of sick of that. And before I realized what I was doing, I was making a zine.
Hmm.
People that I knew, like I knew people who were also tired of getting rejection letters, all over the country, and
Hmm.
because of Instagram was becoming really popular and it was starting to, the algorithm was still very much, hey, I like this kind of stuff. Show me this kind of stuff. So when I decided to put it all together and make it sort of more open submission, because that really wasn't, I didn't know what I was doing. I was just,
Hmm.
I was like, I know how to, because I was in the yearbook in high school. So like, I know how to lay out things. Let me see if I can lay out something.
Okay.
And that became Juicy. So I'll say with the help of Instagram, the old Instagram, and just some really good friends who were also fed up, Juice Milieu came to be.
Nice. Yeah, I mean, I'm a big fan, and especially that like kind of grassroots approach is really cool. I think I'm spelling it wrong. So is it mostly people you said across the country, not just like in your immediate area?
Yeah, at that point, the first one, because I was so impressed with how many people were sending me things, and then the stuff they were sending me was impressive. I was making a point to credit where people were from,
Mm-hmm.
because sometimes the people who are featured could be making or feeling the same way and expressing it in a way, and you'll just be like, I can't believe there's a guy in Germany that feels how I feel as a black girl in Detroit. You never know. So
Yeah.
that's really why I kind of focus on where people are from. And for the most part, anybody who's submitting kind of knows that and they don't really have a problem. But some people have kind of been like, I just want to stay anonymous and ethereal and I don't want anybody to know where I am. And I'm like, that's cool too. You can just be on Earth. That's fine. So the first few I would say were much smaller and did kind of just focus on people that I knew, whether it was in Michigan or like Portland, because I lived there for a little bit.
Hmm.
I have friends in all sorts of places. So, but as it got old, as it grew,
Hmm.
I realized that a lot of word of mouth submissions were happening as well. It wasn't just the Instagram ads or the go to my website you see or you type in poetry submissions on Google. People were telling other people about my magazine, and I was like, this is very cool. I'm really
Yeah.
glad it's resonating.
That seems really organic. Like, I am very bad about self-representing and talking my stuff to people. So like
Yeah.
Quibble, especially in the inception, was like something that I was like, how am I gonna get people to know about this? I'm kind of embarrassed until it's going. So I leaned hard onto social media, which I feel like is what people feel like they have to do. But it's cool that
Mhm.
you're proof that it's
I
not.
don't, yeah, right. So like even when it first started, because I started in 2017, I had just moved back from Portland and I was just trying to be as creative as possible.
Hmm.
And it was the middle of the summer, spring, and I would just go out and get stickers printed and stick them on stuff and Juste Milieu this and JuiceMilieu.com. And I got a lot of traffic that way. Guerrilla marketing is still very much, well, it was, and I'm sure it still is, but
Hmm.
it was a big part of how I got a lot of submissions as well, just in the immediate area, like Detroit, um, college campuses, over by bars. Writers and artists love to go to the libations. So
Yeah.
it's just a bit. I think that because of where I am, I have a leg up because it is kind of cosmopolitan. But in a way, it's still gritty, and you find a lot of very interesting stuff come out of these people who live here.
On the That's a great segue of the libations, the gastro art. I did not see this until just now. That's such a cool idea. So this is your first one doing it.
I haven't been getting any submissions for the gastro art.
Hmm.
And really, all I want to really do is if there's someone who has created a dish or um, a drink of
Hmm.
some sort, and let's say you don't list out the full recipe, you can, but this is like what I think of when I hear gastro art. You send me a recipe, I pair you with an artist who can draw a drawing of the thing you made, and
Okay.
then that goes into the magazine. But from there, it can expand into a full, you know, photo series of food. It could be a full recipe. It could be an article about something that
Yeah.
is about food. Food is very important to me, and I think it was issue 15 or 16. That was the food issue, and that one was so cool. That might be my favorite one.
Hmm.
And I'm just food is if I wasn't a writer and whatever else that I do, I would be a chef.
Yeah. Okay.
Food is very important to me.
Yeah. No. That's very much in my wheelhouse. I did like 11 years serving and bartending, and like after a while, I was
Mhm.
like, oh, like I actually really appreciate this, and like kind of an aspect that I don't think I would have gotten otherwise. I was not like a
Yeah,
foodie by blood, but one day I opened my eyes and I was like, oh yeah, definitely. Um,
exactly. Yeah, it should definitely happen that way. It really
I
should.
think that's such a neat idea though, and I'd like the innovative angle. It's definitely different.
I definitely want to take some time to make an offshoot of Juice Malou and make it just food based. Like just have a food based arts and like that'll be the theme every time. It's just food.
Yeah, that's neat. Is there What's the frequency of publishing that you kind of go for?
I was doing it when it was smaller. Like let's say I was getting 20 submissions
Mm-hmm.
and I was just accepting everything. For the first few years, it was probably every maybe twice, maybe 3 times a year, but definitely twice. Now I'm down to once, and
Nice.
that is only because I'm doing a lot of other stuff. But since I'm taking a break from all that other stuff, I want to get something, if not specifically Juice Milieu, because this next issue will be the 20th one, and if I can get that one out this year, that'll be two this year. So I think I'll do that. I'm gonna try to get issue 20 out in the fall.
Are you accepting submissions currently, or?
Not currently, because
No.
I don't know if I want to make it an anthology or just an issue 20.
Yeah, no worries.
I'm
Just
always trying to figure out if I'm trying to be sentimental or not.
well, well, it sounds like we need to get you some gastro art. So hopefully someone out there hears that and is
Yeah.
because I think
I
that's
think, you know what, maybe issue 20 will just be another food issue. Why not?
yeah, like harvests you
The
could do.
photos I got were crazy. It was just, it was just so good.
um, well, I'm coming up on 5:30, and I don't want to try to keep it within that 30 minutes. But I think that's really cool, honestly, to like take a step back and allow however it needs to be so that it can keep being. Like, when you started it and didn't know what you were doing and it was twice a year, I can totally relate. I mean, Quibble was
Yeah.
bi-monthly online for the first 4, 5, 6 issues, and then it kind of got bigger and harder to produce, and then life. So, like, I think it's cool that you've.
Yeah, it's like it's always happening. I'm always doing it, and I never beat myself up about how long it takes. And it's also just helps me figure out what I'm looking for,
Uh-huh.
and we can end it there. But like I'm always just looking for the stuff that you think no one else wants. I would like it to be polished.
Mm-hmm.
I get a lot of students that are like, "Oh, I know this is your first draft, and that's fine, but let's try to." Because
Mm-hmm.
I've been in academia for 4 semesters straight, and I'm kind of like it's been beaten to my head to at least go over this a few times, please.
Yeah.
So I'm not too strict about a lot of stuff. Genre doesn't bother me. I'm kind of liking scary stuff lately. The creepier, the better for some reason. Not all the time, but
Mm-hmm.
yeah,
A
I
little under
just
your
sit.
skin, kind of. Yeah.
Yeah, make me think about it months and months later, and that's why reading that Coffin Bill was really cool. I got to just it was horror based, so everything we read was scary all the time. But some stuff was much scarier than others. So yeah, just send me whatever you think is great. And this is art wise. And I do like that the art can be a little less polished than the writing. I will say that. I'm not so much a snob about the art. It can be some sketches.
I, I mean, I'm really like the work that you've got on your website is amazing, and I think it's really fantastic. Like a one-person operation, and like just by whatever means possible to continue to do it takes a lot of dedication. So especially while you're doing a lot of other
Yeah.
things. I got
Yeah.
one last question for you, which
Okay.
might be a thinker if it's not, or if it is, I don't know. What's something you've loved that you've learned that you wish you learned a little earlier? Could be about publishing or writing. Um,
I will say, and I've said this a few times in the last few months, I wish I had known better balance of how my brain works. I realized that being creative and using my imagination
mhm.
too much makes me sad and like takes me out of the world and I be forget or take puts me way too far into the world. I don't know which way it is, but I realized that like majoring in English and minoring in creative writing is making me a little too imaginative
Mm.
and I need to balance that because I'm not able to do both parts. Like with Juice Milieu, I always put my own work in there too, but I'm doing
Mhm.
layout and that is there's also logical. You have
Mhm.
to be able to balance out and not get lost in what's up here. So I added some psychology, I added some anthropology. And then when you do stuff like that, it
Mhm.
makes your writing better. It makes your brain connect two sides. And
Mhm.
then like my brain has been blown for just months, and I'm tired in a very good way. But
uh,
if I had it, like I feel like being creative was just me kind of being a rebel. Like I was trying to be a rebel without a cause. Like I'm just gonna be artistic and not necessarily a hippie, but everything I do is gonna be ethereal and have meaning. And it's like sometimes you just
yeah,
you just gotta screw with the light bulb.
right. Take the like persona off, or yeah,
Exactly.
I can relate. That I'm, and I think a lot of writer lead types like just very analytical and gotta
Mhm.
live and get out of your head sometimes instead of thinking what the next right thing to do is or how this could be better. It's like just
Exactly.
enjoy it.
I just think people should just recognize having balance is perfectly fine. You don't have to lean one way or the other.
Yeah, no, that's fantastic. Well, thank you so much,
Thank you.
Zuri. I really appreciate it. And yeah,
Absolutely.
I hope that we get you a lot of gastro art. um, and I'll make sure to send you over whatever I can. So, um, thank.
Please do. It would be great to have you in Juste Milieu.
Yeah, yeah. All right. Well, thank you so much. I'm gonna hit the end stream button and see what happens. Thank you, guys.